So you're thinking about getting on Amazon Flex and you're sitting here thinking, what kind of car do I have to be an Amazon Flex driver? You know, you see those big vans driving around, they look like UPS trucks sometimes. You think, I don't own something like that. I don't have a large SUV. You might have a pickup truck, but that's still not big enough to be matched up with one of those large vans when it comes to packing boxes in. You sit in your car, you got your new vest on, you're wondering, what's it going to be like when I show up to the warehouse? Are they going to turn me away because my vehicle's not correct? Are they going to turn me away because my vehicle's too small or doesn't have the right kind of space for certain items to fit? So in this video, I want to talk about what kind of vehicle Amazon Flex requires and what you can get away with. Well, truth be told, Amazon Flex requires at minimal a mid-size sedan. So that would be a mid-size vehicle like a Ford Fusion. That would be like the perfect idea of a mid-size sedan. So if you think about any vehicle, Toyota Camry, Ford Fusion, you probably want to go with the Honda Accord. Those are all mid-size types vehicles. That's going to be the minimal requirement for you to pick up any of the loads that you go to get at an Amazon Flex warehouse. Now, I see people drive trucks, F-150s, Dodge Rams. I see people drive minivans. I see mid-size SUVs. I've seen large SUVs. And I've also seen small compact cars. Because I do gig work full time, I purchased a 2001 Toyota Echo. It's a small compact car, 4 doors. And when doing Amazon Flex, I have had some concerns with some of the larger boxes fitting in my vehicle. So I don't necessarily suggest this kind of vehicle for Amazon Flex drivers. I think I would bump it up to that mid-size sedan. But if you have the right car that's a sub mid-size, you can pick up Amazon Flex orders and you can fit them in your car. I've done nearly 50 orders by now, and I haven't had one that didn't fit in my vehicle. It's typically just when you get a couple real large boxes, you've got to finagle where you're going to put them, if it's going to be the back seat or the trunk. That's the only thing that I've run into. I've never not got them all in my car, utilizing the front seat, the back seat, and the trunk. So you can go with that small car, that like this Toyota Echo that I drive, maybe like a Toyota Camry, maybe a Honda Civic. Those kind of vehicles, I do see other people picking up in those vehicles. And a lot of the routes are easy to fit in your car because a lot of them have a lot of small packages in them. But there are going to be a few in there that have large boxes that take up your entire back seat. So you got to be prepped and ready for that. And if that does happen to you and you drive a small car, look over the order first. Don't scan the QR code. And if you see a box that you think won't fit in your vehicle, you just let them know. And hopefully they're kind enough to get you a different load that will work for you. Amazon's going to require people to have a mid-sized vehicle and up. Now, why would I drive a truck? Why would I drive a large SUV if I didn't have to do an Amazon Flex? I mean, because I do question those people, and I'm not trying to bring anyone down, but who think it's a great idea to drive their large Suburban around doing Amazon Flex, or their F-150 around doing Amazon Flex, when those vehicles are very expensive to operate on a daily basis. They're very expensive to buy tires for, to fill with fuel. Just to do general maintenance costs a lot on a vehicle like that. And I don't think they're making as much money as they really could if they bought a inexpensive small or mid-sized sedan and did Amazon Flex with that vehicle and utilized it as their primary delivery vehicle. I know that's not possible for everybody. I know that just sounds like a crazy idea to most, but that's what I've done. I've basically purchased a vehicle to do delivery. That way I can track what I do when I have repairs, what I do when I have gas purchases, how much things cost throughout the years. So you can actually see on a spreadsheet what your income was and how much you actually spent on your profit and loss. So you can know exactly where you are. And I just have a hard time thinking that a large SUV, even a mid-size SUV, a truck are a good idea for doing Amazon Flex. If you have the option to look around and buy a smaller vehicle, a mid-size sedan or down, that gets 30 miles to the gallon and above, maybe even in a hybrid vehicle that could get 40 and above, maybe even an EV vehicle if you can find one for inexpensive, maybe a Prius or something like that, an older Prius. Find one of those vehicles if you're going to get out here doing Amazon Flex, because you're putting miles and miles and miles on your car. You are burning the cars up quite a bit. And anything that's going to cost you 80 cents and higher per mile to operate, like a big vehicle, you're not really making a whole lot of money. You start to really feel the effects when you do this long term, like I have, and you start to realize, man, tires on this vehicle are $1,000. Oil changes are $100, $125. Something goes down, a tie rod end, something like that, you're talking $300, $400, $500 repairs. So those big vehicles, I don't think I would suggest anyone to drive those doing Amazon Flex. I think you got to get in that mid-range or that mid-size sedan. Take this with a little bit of grain of salt. I understand people want to get out and just make some extra cash. They don't want to go buy another car. They just want to say it's just a side hustle. But it will save you in the long run if you're just doing it as a side hustle for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and you're putting extra miles on your family vehicle or your more expensive vehicle than it would if you bought a $2,000 to $4,000 little car and you utilize that only for gig work. When you're going out for those Amazon Flex orders, you jump in that car like I do and you go get them. You come home, and when you and your family are ready to go do something else, you jump in the large SUV or the truck and you go do that. So I suggest those sizes. The mid size is the requirement, and I hope you guys found some value out of this video. Everyone, take care.